We're here in Millbrook with Red Bull and they're going to be showing us something very special.
We might be seeing what the future of F1 broadcasting will be.
If you are an F1 fan, you've probably seen awesome but grainy footage from races in the 80s and 90s, shot from a helicopter-mounted camera operator, which, whilst not as HD as today's airbox-mounted onboard cameras, has often been talked about as the best way of seeing and feeling both the speed and adrenaline of Formula 1.
Now, Red Bull Advanced Technologies heard those comments and have set about trying to replicate and upgrade that viewer experience by developing a new type of high-speed camera angle. In collaboration with Dutch drone gods, they have built a drone cam unlike anything F1 has ever seen before.
The Red Bull Drone 1 is more than just an extremely fast piece of hardware. It requires an equally insane level of reaction speed, hand-eye coordination, and overall skill to pilot as a Formula 1 car. And this is where Red Bull's ace pilot known as Shaggy comes into the equation.
It's a different skill set, but yes, it's also hand-eye coordination and yeah, like a drummer doing multiple things at the same time maybe. And then the foot pedal to move the camera to keep the framing during slow speed and high speed corners. So yeah, it's a lot of training with drones and getting the muscle memory to work. Yeah.
So do you think this is the way forward for F1 broadcasting?
Yeah, of course it would be really cool to combine this with an F1 broadcast. It's a really different perspective to what you get now in a broadcast. You have the helicopters that follow, but it's very far away zoomed in. You have some drones that have been used in Formula 1, but it's one corner and it disappears again. So this would add a really big perspective to it.
But to truly find out if this drone has what it takes to go up against an F1 car, then we need an equally skilled driver to race with. Enter 13-time Grand Prix winner and Red Bull athlete and ambassador David Coulthard at the helm of the 2012 Drivers' and Constructors' Championship, conquering Red Bull RB8.
We've just seen the drone and the Formula 1 car go head-to-head for the first run. Now, I don't know about you, but the drone absolutely wiped the floor of the F1 car. Yeah. It shot up, it shot off, and the F1 car was still spinning up its rears.
Was the only drone to go the same speed as the F1 car as well? So you watch it and the next minute it's like straight out of shot. You're like, oh, I can't see it anymore.
I think what they need to do is they need to let the car have a run-up and then kind of shoot off at the same time to really see the speed comparison between the two of them, because the acceleration from the drone is insane. I'm joined now with ex-Formula 1 driver David Coulthard. You've just gone up against the drone. I don't feel like it was really a fair battle in these conditions for you, but it's incredibly fast. The acceleration of that drone was just insane.
Yeah, look, it's so impressive. Obviously, Grand Prix car, struggle for traction on a damp track. It's gone by the time I get the car up and running. The images you get from the drone as well are super impressive. Yeah. So the fact that it can do, I think, more than 400 kilometers an hour if it was really pushed, that's way quicker than a Grand Prix car. So the thing that's really exciting is the potential for then broadcasters in the future, once it's all sorted out, battery life and all that sort of thing, I think it really will give a new perspective for the audience at home.
Have you seen the shots already from the last couple of days filming? Because they look really great.
Yeah, I haven't seen from here, but we've done some previous filming at Silverstone, and it was just really spectacular.
I think you could really get close to the cars, and this could definitely be the future of Formula 1 broadcasting. And you know, the drone, the speed that it has, and the capabilities to keep up, and also the agility. You know, I feel like, yeah, okay, you were hard done by being in the wet conditions. Do you think in the dry it would still be a bit more of an unfair fight?
Yeah, I think just the initial acceleration is so powerful on the drone. Where we have the advantage, of course, is that when we're cornering, and that's where I think it becomes more of a challenge for the drone around the racetrack. Although it's incredibly agile, you know, we've all seen images of aircraft trying to keep up, or helicopters. They just can't, you know, get the G in the corner. So that's where the drone would still struggle. But in straight line, outright speed, no contest.
What's the reaction for you when you wake up in the morning, you're getting a phone call from Red Bull to be like, okay, cool, we need you just to jump in an F1 car and you're going to be racing a drone. What's the thoughts going through your head then?
Look, I've had a long association with the team. I've been 15, 16 years out of Formula 1 as a driver, so every opportunity I get to jump in a car it's not about trying to, turn back the clock. It's just about, I think, keeping me current for my broadcasting career. It reminds me of the technicalities, even if this car generation is quite different to the RB20 that's just been launched, or will be officially launched tomorrow. But I drove RB19, which is the most successful car in the history of Red Bull and certainly Formula One. So I know what these cars feel like. I can't drive them like Max Verstappen or Checo Perez, but I just think it helps my broadcasting.
Well, thank you very much, David, and hopefully next time it's more of a fair fight.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The final test was still to come, as Red Bull launched their 2024 challenger, the RB20, with a shakedown at Silverstone. Could Shaggy accomplish the objective of keeping up with world champion Max Verstappen, driving the evolution of Formula One's most dominant car in history?
Let's see who came out on top.
I've been looking at the footage that Red Bull have captured over the last couple of days with this, and do you know what? I could potentially see this as the future of recording with Formula One. Like, if the drone can keep up, there's some really cracking shots. You can get really close to potential racing. For me, I think it looks really cool.
100%, because when you watch the footage back, it was at Silverstone yesterday, and they did the whole track, and it looks like AI generated. It looks like when you play in the F1 game, doesn't it? It doesn't look real, but it actually is. So I think they're going to move forward with this. Potentially we'll see it, on F1 coverage soon.
I would like to see the questions. Obviously, there's always going to be questions about, what if the drone runs out of battery or fails or something like that, and it could become a hazard. Those are things to definitely think about. But in terms of the shot that it can produce, it looks really good, and the speed of it, insane.
We can't wait to see what Red Bull do next. What do you think of the Red Bull Drone 1's footage, and does it deserve to be a permanent addition to F1 broadcasting? Let us know in the comments below, and remember to tell us if you enjoyed this video, but I'll let DC tell you the rest.
Make sure you subscribe to WTF1.